Scrappy friends. So today I have a new layout for you, and I'm going to be using my Scraptastic February kit, the Counting Stars kit. And so today I am actually going to be using this white cardstock as my background, and I'm going to do some watercolors. So I am getting my gesso ready, and this is clear gesso that I am using. I bought this not too long ago, and I'm still in the testing out phase. The thing that I like the most about it is that it doesn't make my paper off-white, it keeps it clear. So, which obviously, clear gesso. The thing I don't like is that it has a lot more tooth to it, so it has this, you can feel the grit on it, and it takes a little bit longer to dry. So I did have to use my heat gun to get it dry, and I just cut that part out. And so here I'm using some purple, and I'm going to go up to a little bit light, another color shade of purple, and then I'm going to use a pink up at the top. So I'm just using 3 colors, and I'm trying to keep my watercolors on mostly this one side, just because I want to leave some white space. But I really like the brightness that these watercolors, and I bought these to kind of complement my other watercolors because I do have the other ones, but I like that this, I don't have to mix all my colors either. So here I'm using some black, like Versa ink. It's from the same mark, but it's just black. And then that stamp is from Scraptastic, and that is from a previous kit, from the Heartbeats stamp kit. So each month they come out with a stamp that complements a kit. I don't get the stamp every month because I don't stamp that often on my layouts, and so for me it's doesn't benefit me to have it every month. But I do appreciate having one every once in a while. So sometimes if I like the patterns or whatever they have on there, I'll get it. And so right now I'm just looking through my papers because I'm going to layer. And I looked through the kit and found colors that kind of matched the purples or complemented the purple. So I have a lot of pinks, and I have that gray from Amy Tan. A lot of I think the papers that I ended up using were from their exclusive papers, but there were a few from the Amy Tan. And I'm also going to cut out a tag, and I was going to try to make some bows, and I did make some bows, but they didn't end up working, so I just kind of cut all that out because I figured since it didn't work at all, I would spare you watching me make like 3 or 4 bows, because I did more than one. So here everything is through my die cutter. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the bows up at the top, and I'm kind of cutting a few of the papers down. And sometimes I like to do this before. I just like to cut some papers, just random sizes. I try not to be too specific about the sizes that I'm cutting, but that I have just some sizes that are just varying sizes. So I'm going to start off with this piece here that has the stripes on it, and that is exclusive to the kit. And I'm going to edge everything with a purple, I think, in a second. I think that's what I'm getting. And my picture is a 5x7 picture, so it's a little bit bigger. And it is going to go on the left-hand side. Right hand. Apparently, I can't tell my right from my left today. And so I'm going to edge everything just so that it kind of helps everything stand out. And because a lot of the Scraptastic paper is really thick, so it has the core is a little bit thicker. And I just think that the purple like really matches with the other purples. And that's a Tim Holtz Distress ink that I'm using. And so here I'm just kind of playing around with maybe what I'm thinking, and I'm only using a little teeny tiny bit of glue because I don't know what else I'm going to put in in my layers. Sometimes I like to tuck things in. And I'm cutting this 3x4 card. A lot of times using Project Life cards can make it easy to do layering, because all you have to do, if you don't like the size, is cut it in half and you can stick it on the edge of your pictures, and it gives you varying sizes. I know not too long ago I heard quite a few people asking about layering and how they were having a hard time layering. And I've just really found that playing around and just layering as much as possible, as much as it might seem like it's not working out or it looks really weird, you just got to keep trying it. I found that the more I layer, the more I like the way that my layering comes out. And sometimes you have to take it out. Sometimes you put it somewhere and it just doesn't work. So here I'm just kind of playing around, looking through, and that dot paper is from Amy Tangerine's The Stitch Collection, and so is that gray paper. And I just use a little tiny strip, and this strip is actually going to help ground some of my layers, because on the left hand, or the right hand side, excuse me, my layers don't really go underneath the photo, and on the left hand side, they do. They go, you have that gray piece. And I didn't realize while I was doing it that all my like pinks were on one side and then like more gray and neutrals on the other side, but it works out fine. And so there's the tag that I cut out, and it's just a medium tag. And so in a minute, I'm going to actually do a fancy technique that I tried the other day and I didn't tape out. But before, I'm going to tape this down just because I don't want it to move, and I'm going to set it off to the side. So I'm going to add some glitter to part of this tag. And part of the reason why I use this stripe paper is because it already had a stripe on it, and I thought it would be easier to be able to add some glitter to it. And so I'm going to add some glitter, just like some of the new Maggie Holmes tags and stuff. And I think the Kiss Kiss collection has some tags that has some glitter on half of or part of the tag. And I thought, I could probably do this at home and get about the same result. So I tried it, and I really like this technique. So I used some washi tape so I can get a clean line, and I'm going to use some Mod Podge, but you could probably use some matte medium stuff. And I'm using some glitter, and I'm using gold and pink, and I'm just going to cover that spot. And of course, I didn't mean to, but I touched the edge, so it kind of made that one side a little funky, and so I kind of have to play around with it a little bit. But if you're careful, you only have to put glitter on it once. And you don't really have to play around with the glitter too much. I mean, I will say the only thing that, as you can see, I am trying to go back through and add a little bit more of the Mod Podge just to get that one little spot, because it was kind of bugging me. And so I use that little container. It's just like a little dish. You could use a plate. I recommend using something. And so here I'm using embossing paste or embossing powder over top of glitter. And this is one thing that I found for me that helps keep the glitter in place, because this is the one reason why I don't like to do glitter, is that it comes off, and I don't really want it coming off. So I'm going to put embossing powder on it multiple times just to make sure I get a good hard coating. And between the Mod Podge glue and the embossing powder, I found that so far this has really helped keep it sticking. So like I said, I'm heating it, and then I'm putting more embossing on it, and I'm just using the same stuff that I put on the first time, because sometimes, it kind of falls off, and not all of it sticks, because once it starts cooling, it doesn't, stay as nicely, so you do have to do it a few times, and I really like the result. And as you can see, I already took the tape off. I forgot to turn my camera back on or something, and so I took the tape off. But you do have to be careful, because with the washi tape, I found that with this cardstock paper, or this paper, it kind of stuck from heating it over and over again. So you do have to go really slow so you don't rip your paper. I did rip a little bit of the paper. So here I'm going to add some, yes, I'm trying to think. Those are rub-ons. Apparently my brain is not working again. So I'm going to add some rub-ons to the page. And this is where this page really starts to pop. I mean, you can already see the black from the ink pad, from the stamp that I did, but this black just really makes me really love the purple. It really stands out. I think these are from My Mind's Eye, maybe? I'm not positive. I should know this because I have it written down. It would help if I had all that stuff out, huh? And so on this sheet, it has some like different splatters and everything. So I'm going to add some of the splatters. Yes, these are from My Mind's Eye. They're the Jubilee collection. And so I like the splatter, so I'm going to add some of those just randomly. So that takes me a little while because I kind of have to cut them out. But I will say that because it's on the gesso, I really had to make sure I rubbed it really good. So... but I really like the way that it looks with the watercolor and everything. So I'm going to also add that ampersand right to that tag. And that'll help bring my tag and make it match the rest of my layout. And also in the kit, we got like stickers that had like gold and stuff on it. And so you'll see how what I did with the glitter kind of matches with what was on there. So here I decide that I need something else to help stick my papers, but I kind of want a little dimension. And this is something that I started doing lately, is adding some of that 3D tape, the foam tape, in between my layers a little bit, and it kind of helps the layers come apart just a little bit so that you can see in between it. And so then when I stick it in my page protector and it ends up, going in my albums, it doesn't get completely smushed. So here's some of the tag. Here's one of the banner. Well, it is a banner, but it doesn't have like a banner end, so I make a banner end. And that's the one nice thing about like stickers like these, is that you can cut them a little bit and make them kind of fit better to what you're doing. I didn't like the adhesive on them. I'm not sure if it's just the temperature or the climate here or what it is. I didn't think they stuck that great. So I did have to kind of add some adhesive. And so I'm going to use that black, and I'm going to add foam adhesive to that. And I just bought a roll. So far I haven't gotten a huge roll yet because I wanted to not get a huge roll if I didn't like the smaller rolls. But I really like getting those instead of the sheet because I feel that for me it's a little bit more cost effective because I can just use a little bit, or I can use more if I want. So, and I'm not wasting it. And I like the thickness of that better than some of the other pop dots that I've gotten in the past. So here I tried one of the bows, but it just didn't work. It was just a little too big for that page. Maybe if I hadn't put the flags of the bow, that's not really, but you know what I mean, the underneath of the bow, it might have looked better. So here I'm going to add a few of the butterflies. I just thought that would be cute. And since it's a picture of my two daughters, and this was from last year, about last spring, my daughters are sitting on a swing that's outside in our yard, and they're holding hands, and they're so cute. I say they're like best friends. They are best friends. Just everything with my oldest daughter, Leilani, my middle daughter, Kaden, they've just have this great bond that, I mean, even sisters have a great bond anyway, I think. But just because of that, they have an even better bond. So I just thought this picture is especially cute, and I haven't scrapped it yet, surprisingly. So I thought that this would be a fun time to scrap it. And I just love how the playfulness of the picture really goes along with the playfulness of the watercolor and the black and white, and I just think it ends up looking really nice. So I'm going to title this Swing and Enjoy Life. And I'm using those thickers that came in the kit, and those are hardcover thickers. We actually got 2 sets. And I was going to use the other set, but I just thought that it was just a little too blocky, and I liked the funness of these hardcover ones. And so I also pulled out my stamp and I stamped Enjoy Life. So my girls, they love to swing. So really this is just, makes it extra fun. And so I'm going to add the date, and I just put the month and the year. I really didn't go crazy because, to tell you the truth, I'm not exactly sure what month, but I think it was May. And I did add that Amy Tan transparency from a pack that we got in our kit. And then I'm going to add some enamel dots. And I just add black, if I remember correctly, just to kind of mimic and make it almost look like splatters. But I didn't really want to add the splatters because I thought that that would be a little bit too much. And on the gesso, they don't dry as nicely. So I really, really love the way this turned out. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys have a great day and a great almost weekend. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.